Math 83, Unit 1, Lesson 4. We're going to determine whether a given number is a solution to an equation by substituting the value into the equation. So in number 1, the value we're going to substitute in is -4, and we're going to see if that's a solution to the equation. So we're going to substitute -4 wherever we see x. So we have 6 times, and then I'm going to put -4 in place of x, plus 15, and we want to know, does that equal -11? Well, 6 times -4 is -24, plus 15 is a -9, and -9 is not equal to -11. So no, this is not a solution. Number 2, we're going to see if 9 is a solution to the equation 4x minus 21 equals 2x minus 3. So we're going to substitute 9 in place of x on this side of the equation, and we want to see, does that equal the other side? So when we substitute it in, we're going to put 9 here, minus 3. Well, let's see. 4 times 9 is 36, and 36 minus 21 is 15. On the second side of the equation, we have 2 times 9 is 18, minus 3 is 15, and 15 does equal 15, so yes, 9 is a solution to the equation. Now I'd like you to try number 3 on your own, pause the video, and come back and check your answer. Now in number 3, we wanted to see if 7 was a solution to the equation. When we substitute 7 in place of x, we first do what's inside parentheses, so 7 minus 5 is 2, and then 2 times -2 is -4, and -4 does not equal 4. Therefore, 7 is not a solution. In part 2, we're going to solve linear equations by using the addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division property. Well, number 1, our goal is to get y all by itself. And with y here, we have a plus 9. So we're going to do the opposite and subtract 9 from both sides. Whatever we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other. So when I do 9 minus 9 over here, y is alone, and -14 minus 9 is going to be a -23. In number 2, we're trying to get m alone, so the opposite of subtracting 6 is adding 6. And I'm going to add 6 to both sides of the equation. Again, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. The minus 6 plus 6 goes away, and we get m alone. And then -1 plus 6 is going to be 5. In number 3, we're trying to get r alone, and we have a -10 plus r. So we're going to have to add 10 to both sides to get r by itself. Now these go away, and we get r equal to a -4 plus 10 is going to be 6. So r is going to equal 6. Go ahead and do numbers 4, 5, and 6 on your own. Pause the video and come back and check your answers. In number 4, to get m alone, we had to subtract 4 from both sides, and then m is going to equal -9. In number 5, to get x by itself, we had to add 19 to both sides, so then x is equal to 14. In number 6, we had to rewrite minus a -39 to be y plus 39 equals 30, and then when we subtract 39 from both sides, we'll get y is equal to -9. In number 7, we have 6x equals -30. A 6 next to an x means 6 times x, so we have to do the opposite and divide both sides by 6. So that this 6 and 6 divide out, and we get x alone. And -30 divided by 6 is -5. In number 8, We have n divided by 2 equals 9, so the opposite of dividing is to multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2, and that way this 2 and this 2 divide out, and we get n is equal to 9 times 2, which is 18. In number 9, we're trying to get c alone. This is negative 6 times c, so we're going to do the opposite and divide both sides by negative 6. The negative 6 divided by negative 6 becomes 1, and we get c alone, and 42 divided by negative 6 is negative 7. In number 10, we want to get r alone. We're dividing by 3 here, so we're going to multiply both sides by 3, and this is a negative in front here, so we're going to have to multiply by a negative 3 to make it a positive, and whatever I do to that side I have to do the other, so I'm going to multiply this side by negative 3. The 3 and the 3 divide out. The negative times a negative gives me the positive r, and negative 3 times 11 is going to be negative 33. In number 11, we have 2/3 x equals negative 8. To get x alone, we're going to have to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 2/3. The reciprocal just means taking the 2 over 3 and flipping it. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3 over 2. Doing that, these 2's divide out and these 3's divide out, and we get x alone on the left. And I can put negative 8 over 1 to make it look like a fraction. Now we multiply across. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24, and 1 times 2 is 2, and then negative 24 over 2 is negative 12. In number 12, we're trying to get z alone. So we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. We're going to take 2 and 7 and flip them. Becomes 7 over 2. And because this is a negative, we're going to also want to multiply it by a negative. So we have a negative 7 over 2. So when I simplify, the negative times a negative is a positive. The 7's divide out and the 2's divide out, and I get z alone. Multiplying across, we have 8 times negative 7, that's negative 56. 1 times 2 is 2, and then negative 56 over 2 is negative 28. So z is going to equal negative 28. In part 3, we're going to translate the sentence to an equation and then solve. So if negative 1 is added to a number, the result is negative 8. So a number can be our x. And negative 1 is added to that, so I'm going to add negative 1 to my x. The result is, it's just my equal sign, and the result is negative 8. So there's our equation. To solve, we're going to have to add 1 to both sides. That way this negative 1 plus 1 becomes 0. We get x alone. And negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7. In number 2, if 4 is subtracted from a number, again, a number is my x. 4 is subtracted from that number, so we need to have the x first. And then we take 4 away. The result is 21, so that means it's going to equal 21. To solve for x, we're going to have to add 4 to both sides to get x alone, and then 21 plus 4 is going to be 25. So x equals 25. In number 3, the product of negative 4 and a number, the product means times, and our number is going to be x. So the product of negative 4 and a number would be negative 4 times x is going to be 56. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so we're going to divide both sides by that negative 4 to solve for x. And so 56 divided by negative 4 is negative 14. So x is going to be negative 14. Number 4, the quotient of a number and 3.5 is 30. So quotient is division. We're going to divide x by 3.5, and that's going to equal 30. Now to solve for this, we're going to have to multiply both sides by 3.5, because multiplying is the opposite of dividing. Therefore, this 3.5 and this 3.5 divide out, and we get x alone. and 30 times 3.5 is 105. In number 5, 3/8 of a number is 30. So 3/8 of means times of a number would be our x equals 30. To solve for x, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 3/8, and that's going to be 8/3. So we multiply both sides by 8/3. And now this 3 and 3 divide out, this 8 and 8 divide out, and we get x alone. Now I can put that 30 over 1. When I multiply across, I get 30 times 8 is 240. 1 times 3 is 3. And then 240 divided by 3 is going to be 80. In part 4, we're going to choose the equation that best describes the situation. At a college, tuition costs $3,000 a semester. If a student received $2,250 in financial aid, how much more money does the student need to pay the balance of the semester's tuition? Well, when we look at our 4 choices for equations here in our answer, we know that the total cost of the tuition is $3,000 for the semester. So if $3,000 is our total, we know that in C, our total here is $2,250, so it can't be that one. And then in D, also our total here is $2,250, so we can eliminate that one. So our choices now are between A and B, and we know that the student gets $2,250 in financial aid and wants to know how much more money he needs. Well, that means he has to add the money he puts in with his financial aid to get to $3,000. So our answer has to be B. Those two amounts added together equal $3,000. In number 2, the student government at a college sold tickets to a play. From ticket sales, it collected $800, which was twice the cost of the play. We want to know how much did the play cost. Well, if it collected $800, that would be our total. That's what it's going to equal. And in A and in B, it equaled 2. So we can eliminate the equations in A and B. Now we're determining which one it's going to be. Is it either the equation in C or D? Well, because it was twice the cost of the play, twice the cost means 2 times the cost of the play, and 2 times C is that expression. So 2C equals 800 is the equation that would work here.